went into the main town. And when I went into the main town, I went into the store that they call Zara, and Zara was having a sale. And what was really interesting is that I tried on this lovely red dress, and it looked very nice. And I think maybe I am going to buy that red dress, but I'm not sure. And isn't that boring? Yes or no? Was that a boring way of speaking? And it was just like one tone only, right? And is this how we speak to our friends? Is this not attractive? I like that. Is this how we speak to our friends? Of course not. When we speak to our friends, we normally have waves in our voice. So, what do I mean by that? I would probably speak like this. Hey, Sham, guess what? Yesterday, I was in town and I went past the store, Zara. So I went into the store and I saw this lovely red dress. So I tried it on and, it looked really good, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I really like it. And so I'm wondering if you will come in with me and give me a second opinion. So you see, there's so much of color in the voice. There's up and down, slow and fast. And actually, I can sometimes maybe pause just before or just after a statement. So here's that second tip I want you to keep in mind. When you are speaking, even as when you're doing professional presentations, make sure your voice has got that wonderful color. You speak in waves, and sometimes you go higher, sometimes you go softer, louder, and sometimes maybe you pause just before you make a very important point. So that's all I wanted to say about voice. I want to now move on to the second tip. Okay, so the second tip around our non-verbals that can really improve our energy is how we make eye contact. So tell me, how can we make eye contact if we are on Zoom or MS Teams or WebEx? What do you do? How do you make eye contact? Turn on the camera. Yes, that's right. And I think that Sovan, if I'm not wrong, Sovan has said, look at the camera. You are absolutely right. So I don't know, when you have news readers, when you turn on the TV and you have news readers in Singapore, we call them newscasters or broadcasters. They look right at the camera, and what is interesting about it is that it feels like as if they are looking at us and they are making direct eye contact with us. But actually, there is nobody else in the studio, right? There is nobody else in the studio. They only there's only a cameraman and a few technical crew. That's it. But why is it that presenters, TV newscasters make us feel like as if we are connecting with them? Because they are looking straight at the camera. So my question to you is this. Are you looking at your camera when you are presenting? This is a friend of mine. She used to be a TV news reader in Singapore, and here is what she did, what she does. She raises the computer so that the camera is like on the eye level. Okay, so notice, if you look at the picture, she even takes books and she puts it underneath the computer so she can make eye contact with the camera. So I am going to turn off my video, my slides for a while, and I would like to look
to
at
show
all of
that Cambodia should have a clear roadmap and
I would like to see whether if you could turn on your cameras so I can show you what you need to do. So lift up, see what you can do. Yes, so Tita, very nice. So at the moment you're looking down, right? But what you want to do is, if you can find books or thick books that you can put, and you can put it underneath your computer and lift it up. That would make it really nice. Makara, yours is really nice because I can see that you are kind of looking straight at the camera, but sometimes you will see that. So Rai, for example, for you, I can see you looking at the side. So it's possible that you have two monitors. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you have two monitors, it's a bit difficult. Vishat, I can see that you're very centralized, so that's nice. But where you can, I think you still can lift up a little bit so that your eyes don't look down, so you're looking straight. Yeah, and make yourself centralized. So this is a good way of making sure that the person on the other side thinks you are making eye contact. Okay, it's a very
Yes.
simple tip, and I hope that
Roche,
yes.
I saw that Nei Hyang and there was one more person who had their computer on. So Nei Hyang has her background. Can you see her?
Oh yes, I can see
Right there.
Nehang. Yes,
And Sok just put on his video again. Maybe you
yes.
want to check in with them?
Yeah, so Sok, I can see that. So for me, Sok, the only thing would be to just add more light for in front of you, and if there's something you can bring in, I have a very simple. I don't know whether you can see this. It's just a very simple light. It's very, very cheap. I got it very cheap in Malaysia when I was visiting there last year. And I just make sure that I have, because you see, otherwise it's a bit too dark, right? But with the light, it's brighter. So that's what I would suggest. And Hort, sorry, Nehian, maybe what you can do is maybe bring your camera down a bit. Maybe the lid of your computer, if you can bring it down, because at the moment I can see too much space at the top. So bring it down just a little bit more, or me. Yeah. Oh, so much better. So much better. Wonderful. Excellent. So that's great. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So Tita, at the moment, what I see is that you're looking sideways, but you must look at the camera where your image is being transmitted. Okay. So I hope that thank you so much for those of you who allowed me to comment on your the way you were looking, and I hope that for those of you who could not put on your camera for some reason or did not get me to give any feedback, that you at least learn from just that simple exercise. So I realize that I have just a little bit more time with you. I just have a couple more things I want to share with non-verbals. What is your preference? Do you all like to sit and present, or do you like to stand? What is your preference? Sit or stand and present? Ah, so some of you like to stand. That's really good. If you like to stand, the energy level is much better. If you are sitting, then be careful about the chair you choose. Make sure it is not something where you sink in, because if you sink in, what will happen is that your you're squeezing your stomach and your where your diaphragm is, so your voice will be affected. So make sure you are sitting down on the chair, maybe a little bit forward with a cushion behind your back, so your back is straight. Yeah, so that keeps you upright. Your voice is also better when you are sitting straight. If you are standing, then you must make sure that you practice, and you've already got your markers where you need to stand, how far you can move to the left, to the right. I use masking tape, to make sure I don't move out. So these are all things you need to keep in mind if you want to stand and present. I love it when when you're able to stand and present. I think it's a great idea, but there are some other things you have to be careful about. And of course, gestures, hand movements. when we are doing presentations, live and in person, maybe we have